Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of XLR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a light classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Wanna get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. XLR. We don't just train, we build careers.
Yes, so the collaboration with XLR was an excellent one. We conducted a Power BI workshop with Advanced Excel over a span of 3 days. The workshop was almost 12 hours long in total. Mr. Karthik, who was an amazing trainer, helped the students understand the concepts deeply. I am sure that the students will be able to apply these concepts in their careers as well as their daily lives.
The trainer, Mr. Karthik, was an excellent person where he explained in very detailed manner on how to give great insights using very complex data sets.
So it was a machine learning workshop. We learned a lot from the course and it was a great experience attending the workshop.
The trainer was very helpful. He had a hands-on approach with his teaching and it was fabulous.
This was a great experience for me. So I would absolutely love it if XLR and its team would come again to our campus and conduct more events like this.
It was a great course and it started from basics and took me to a great extent.
The experience of the workshop was really nice. The feedback from all the students was positive. They understood the concept. The workshop was also practical based with some questions. The experience with XLR was very smooth. They helped us in conducting the workshop smoothly right from the booking of the vendor and deciding the course till the distribution of certificates. In overall, this workshop was a success during our Technical Fest Atmos, and I thank XLR for being a part of it.
very much interested in learning digital marketing course for a very long period of time, but I don't get a proper platform. So later from our college, I get to know about XLR and I enrolled in XLR course. It was really good experience. Our course has been taken by Mayur sir, and he was very good teacher. He not only focusing on theory part, he is doing how real digital work.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope all are doing good. So this is the last day for our FTP. So yeah, good to go. We'll start the session. So Advait, yeah, you can take up the class, Advait.
Yeah, thank you, Chandana.
Yeah,
Good
thank you.
afternoon, all. Yeah, good afternoon, all. Can you hear me?
Yes, Advait, you are audible.
Yeah. All right. Still, number of participants today is bit less. That is what I see. Maybe because of festival. Okay, because of festival fever, people have not been joining up today. All right, but anyway, this is getting recording, so everyone will have the advantage of the session even after completing our sessions as well. Okay. So let's come back to the topic that where we stopped in our last lecture. So till now, we finished about the some linear regression concepts, which is comes from supervised learning methods. Okay, and logistic regression from again supervised learning methods. And then after that, I think we finished out clustering analysis, the last sessions, which is from unsupervised learning methods. Okay, so we did not could have not able to finish up all the things, but I given a quick idea about the topics that how we are making our machine train with a different set of scenarios. And as I told, like there are two kinds of data sets you may receive: structured and unstructured. Right now, so if you scroll up, I could have mentioned somewhere here this point. Yes, I don't know where is this. Somewhere I mentioned it. I'm not remember, but yeah, it's code up somewhere. All right. The thing is what? Yes, we may have structured data, and yes, another thing is what? Unstructured data. So unstructured data contains again different kinds of varieties in the form of a textual data as well as some other images, videos, audios, or any other things. So our basic intuition is what? Converts this unstructured text or any other data also in the form of structured data. So that means what the raw data that we received it is not cannot be directly work on the Python code. Hence, it is required to convert into normal like a rows and columns data. Structured data means what rows and columns. So what kind of raw material we received it accordingly, you are supposed to apply those process related techniques over there, such that it converts into numerical. So your regular machine learning libraries, scikit-learn or any other libraries may not 100% give the all the processing techniques. Hence, you are supposed to use some other advanced libraries such as TensorFlow or Keras or NLTK, depends upon the case to cases. So in the last session, I discussed about the text data. Like basically, we will have two types of steps when you are when you are handling the text data. Basically, we will have two types of methods. One is text pre-processing method. Another one is what? Feature extraction method. So again, text pre-processing contains several independent topics. Each topic is its own importance. So finally, what is these topics will do what? Removes the unnecessary text data from the overall data. And finally, what it will do? It will take up the only the most important words such as good, high, life, best, damaged, worst, good, good. Yeah, at the end I will share my email ID, Chetra. Don't worry. Okay, at the end we will share my email ID on whatever that is. Okay. So currently concentrate on the class. Okay, let's move forward. So what I told yesterday, like, yeah, we are pre-processing those all text. We will remove the unnecessary words from the data and we are finalizing only those words. And what you have done here, we are constructed into a matrix, like a table. A table data have been converted into some only important words collection, and those important words that you put down under the form of variable names. And what we are doing is we are trying to understand that which variable, like which word is repeated for how many times in the entire first person's feedback. In the second person's feedback, is the words is being used or not used. In the third person's feedback, again, is the word is being used or not used. So those things is being comes under what future extraction methods. After converting into text data into pre-processing, applying the pre-processing methods and identifying the best words, we are converting into again numerical data. Once you are successful into numerical data, yes, you are going to apply. Maybe if we have the a y variable such as positive negatives kind of column, I may approach supervised learning method. If I don't have the y variable, I may approach again an unsupervised learning methods or some other analytics methods. Depends upon what my client is asking to do. Depends upon what my client is asking to do. So I think this is what the theory that we have done. Okay. Now I'm going to make you show a practical code related to the same example. I'll take up a general easiest kind of example because I don't want to take an advanced procedures here. Maybe you may get confused. So I don't want to take any advanced kind of things. I'll take an easiest example level for the such that I can make understand every person who is joining for this session. Okay. So what is my example? Let me explain what I have with me. So look at this. This is a feedbacks which are people have provided after purchasing the laptop in the Amazon website store. Right? I'm telling again, like so many people are purchasing so many things under the Amazon website. Okay? But what we are doing after using by that laptop by the consumer or customer, we are also collecting the feedbacks of those people. Why? Because if I see the number of complaints or the number of negative reviews is being more than the positive reviews, so definitely there is really having a problem in the products which I am making sell. So that's why what I have done, I collected some of the people's feedbacks like this. If you see, we will have almost 40 people's feedbacks. If you read it one by one, you will understand what exactly consumers are thinking about our product. Okay, what is the first person told that it's amazing, battery lasts around 10 to 12 hours, best laptop for students and coders. Look at the fourth person feedback, lightweight and super fast response time, highly optimized, which avoids any kind of process. Look at the another person, he is given a negative. I am very upset about the product. As I checked my Mac 15 days back in the December, it didn't start. It was luckily in warranty. So he is not happy. Look, next one. Reason for 1 star is it's a defective piece. The sound quality was not good. My laptop started giving issues with the power button. So that is what some people are giving negatives. Some people are also giving positives. So here we are working with 40 feedbacks, but in the reality, you may have 4,000 feedbacks or 40,000 feedbacks or 4 lakhs feedbacks also possible. So if I take such a huge data into our machine, my machine cannot run. Okay, not only my machine, even your machine also cannot. Why? Because when you are dealing with a high amount of data, the processor of our machine, the motherboard, the speed, these are all things to be. Yeah, we should have a little bit more highly configuration laptop we should need. So the regular laptop that we are using for personal times will be not sufficient. So that's why people will work on the like what's say AWS platform, like working on the servers where it contains highest amount of speed will receive for them in the reality. So since we are not related to that area, we are learning the purpose of what is exactly happening. So let's continue to the topic here. Okay. So here's, however, I understood that some of them are positives are there, some of them are negatives are there. So I want to know, applying some techniques here. Okay, and which are the person is giving feedback negative and which are the person giving feedback positive. I would like to know it. Okay, let me write the things. Which are the person giving negative feedback and which other people are giving positive feedback. Without reading the feedback, I would like to know it. Getting my point? This is one thing I want to eat. Every person is giving some feedback, but without reading it, my machine should understand it, and it is to be tell me that first person, second person, third person, like that. This person is giving a positive, and this person is giving a negative. Again, this person is giving again negative, and this person could be a positive. So, like that, I would like to make it to classify. This is case 1. Once it is done, I also want my machine to be trained that whenever I am giving a new feedback, my machine should understand that the given feedback is a positive, okay, or a negative. I have to identify it. So this is the task. Did everyone understood the task which I am going to do now? Please respond in the chat box. You are able to follow. I am continuing the lecture that where we stopped in the previous session. So today, for the first half an hour to 45 minutes, we'll complete this exercise of NLP. Then immediately I will get into the deep learning topics. All right. Hope you are able to recollect it. What we are learned, what we are talking from the last picture, from the last slides. Okay. Okay. All right. Now I am taking about Jupyter once again. Okay. So I'll upload our data file. What is our data file? Apple.txt, where it is in this drive. So simply I'm taking that file here, upload. It's not our regular CSV file, it's a notepad file. So will it comes in the form of .txt format. Same apple.txt, just upload it here. And I'll bring the file here inside by writing its related Python code. Okay. So we can take up with the multiple ways, but here I'm taking with a different way of writing the things. So let's get the data inside. Yes, like this. So we are using some other irregular expressions kind of things, okay, with open and all. So, and we finally got the data here. If you observe that this is first person feedback, which is within one line. Second person feedback, look out here how much bigger it is. He's written a review. It's not just a feedback, he's written a review on it, entire thing. Okay, so what is mentioned? Finally, a MacBook possession, got it in 50K in Diwali sale, technically good laptop, good news, luxury product, so many things. Look at the third person feedback. Best laptop under 60K. Fourth person, so it's not one line feedback. See, 10, 15 lines, 20 lines of the feedbacks also given. 5 lines of feedback, 3 lines of feedback, again 5 lines of feedback, 1 line of feedback, 4 lines of feedback. Got it now? So I successfully drag the data inside the machine. The next one. Yep. Here I am downloading, as I told, for every complicated task, we should have some related libraries to it. So I am taking the NLTK, import NLTK, and download the all the libraries related to the NLTK. So I am downloading it now. Let's run it. Let's run it. So what it will display, we'll verify. Yep. If you see, downloading all the collection. When I mentioned all now, what does it mean? From the NLTK, you are asking to download all the things are there. So how many files, how many libraries will be there inside the NLTK? You are asking to download all the things. It's still downloading. Yes, done. Download collection all. So we are successfully downloaded what is related to the NLTK. Okay. Then yes, pandas not required. Yeah, let's call the data here. Okay, I'm converting it to pandas. Then order. So these things is doing what? So our data, where I saved under text data, text underscore data, and I'm taking this one as input. I'm asking to split whenever you see a blank space. Blank space means what? Between the paragraph to paragraph, there is a one empty line space is there. So I am asking to remove that empty line space and take it into lines. Then those data lines I am converting back into pandas data frame, which is looks like a DF. Like a normal data frame. So if you see, yeah, here you are going to have the data. So let's take some 20 lines, first 20 lines. Yes, you could see it's not displaying the whole text, data is there. Don't think of the data is not missing, it is there. And I read first 20 lines. Okay, the next one. Now, if you see here, in every row, blanks are there, like one after the one after the one after that, there is a blank line is getting. So I would like to remove the blank lines. So I'll make sure that empty rows by using this code. I don't know whether it's work or not. Let's verify. So still 82 rows is there. It's not worked out using this one. Okay. So what I'll do, I will approach with other method. In between the every rows, I would like to remove the blank. So what this one is doing, df.ilog. I'm asking to take the first row and ignore the second row and jump to the third row. So what this one double column do? So it will take always first row, ignore the second row, 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 2, 9, like that it is going to jump because we given as 2. So every alternative row will be taken and those data you are taking it out. Now if you see, we don't have any blanks inside the data. But actually what has happened here, the index which has been there now, it is being missed out. So let's remove that index and let's give the proper order of the index for the integer. The unnecessary blanks are being removed. So what I'll do, yes, I'll write up a next code to remove the to reset the index, to reset our index which is there under odd index data and make it is n plus equal to 2. N plus means what exactly it will do? It will fix that index numbers with the latest ones. Now when you see, yes, index have been printed properly 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and in every row data has been received. Because if you see go back, originally we did not receive the data like the order. Every time we got a one line of empty space. So we have removed successfully that empty space of the data from this code. The next one. Yes. There's a question here. Let me check. Is drop is removing the spaces, sir? Yes. Yes, it was. Drop is removing the spaces. That means that the previous index, not spaces actually, to be frank, The previous index you are asking to drop and make a new one. Make a new one. Reset index is removing the unnecessary index or like older index and make it a new one. Okay. Then what's next one? Yes, even if you see, go back. The last one space, which is 40th row, which is an unnecessary text it is. So by default, it is coming because after last line, again, there is another, after last person's feedback, another extra line is there. So which I want to remove it. So what I'll do simply, yes, I'll take up only 0 to 39 rows only. So that 40 will be excluded. So finally, once you remove, you have the exactly 40 feedbacks. Note that why you are getting 40 even after removing the 40, that's what you call doubt. But actually, we started with the 0th index. By default, under the Python, first line will be treated as zeros, first columns also treated as zeros. So you have to remember these things. So next one, yes, finally we got the better data. Now here I am using NLTK, and from the NLTK, we are launching a WADR library. NLTK.sentimental.WADR. On what this WADR library will do? It will calculate something called sentiment intensity analysis. So what exactly this will do? It will read up the entire person's feedback. What percentage of positivity is there? What percentage of negativity is there? In the overall document, my NLTK library will assumes that it will calculate that and it will convert back into some percentages. Okay, let me show you how it is going to work. So NLTK dot, yes, we are also supposed to download a library called WADR lexicon. NLTK dot, download it, WADR lexicon. Let's run it. So we are successfully dragged the data WADR lexicon. Now I'm going to make use it by calling initializing our sentiment, this one, sentiment intensity analyzer. Now this analyzer is going to apply on the given data. So what it is doing? So our previous input is what? df underscore final. On the df underscore final, and the variable name is what? Text data. On the df underscore final, on the apply of text data variable, I am asking to calculate something called polarity score. So where this polarity score is coming from? Sentiment intensity analyzer through. And the lambda is an expression which is just like a for loop where you are asking to read the entire feedback from the beginning to last of every person and calculate something called polarity score. So under the polarity score, we have something called compound values. And these compound values you are saving under a new variable called sentiment 0. Once I run it, if you see, yes, sentiment 0 is a column that has been created and it is making understood that, yeah, the compound score in the every row. Now here we are going to take a cutoff considering as which person is giving positive feedback or which person is negative feedback. So through the compound score, we are going to calculate it. So once again, I'm doing it. So I'm rewriting again. Same line. Under the, now we are using the sentiment 0 as input variable. Again, I'm reading the entire line by using lambda. And I'm telling that if the value is greater than 0, make it as positive. If the value, if you see coming as less than 0, make it as negative. Understood? So I'm asking to, from the given data, what you have done, we have applied a WADR package. What WADR is doing, taking the help of sentiment analyzer tool. And what it is doing, it is applying, it is giving a compound score for every row. Let's imagine this is 0.7 and this is minus 0.23. And this is, imagine 0.14. and this is 0.51. Like that, the compound scores we have got. Let us not worry how these are getting calculated in the back because library is doing it. Now come to the point. We receive such a compound scores. Now using compound scores, which are the value greater than 0? Yes, this is greater than 0. So what should I do? Positive. This is negative because negative. Which is less than 0. It is again positive. And this is also again positive. So we are applying this compound score in every row and we are etching those results here. And again, you created a new variable called sentiment and you saved those data in the last column. Where it is, it's moved out. Yeah, here. So already sentiment 0 is there, but you are creating a new variable called sentiment. Like next variable. The next one. So here, when you run it, let's add up the things. Yes, if you see, sentiment 0 column is there, sentiment column also there. So original compound score calculated value and the converted thing into positive negatives. Okay? Yes, if you see greater than 0 considering as positive, less than or equal to 0 converted as negative. This is negative. This is all positives. Again negative. Even this one also negative because 0.00. Okay? Now next one. Now apply. Now working on again which data? Text data. So I am asking to convert the entire data into lowercase because if you see some of the cases are upper cases, some of the cases will be lower cases like this. So I would like to convert everything into one common case. So that's why we are running this code. So we are successfully converted to lower cases, no more upper cases. Okay. Then what's next step? Remove the punctuations mark from the data. From which data? Text data. So take the text data, ask him to replace the string if you have any things which are this format from the using string library. When you run it, now if you see you won't be in C, you won't be see any other more strings unless it's strings. The next one. Yes, I am applying lematizer function. So I'll explain this in short. What is lematizer? Let's say there is a word called books and book. Books and book. What is the difference between here? Singular, plural. I have chosen so many books, or else I have seen so many books in the library. Finally, I choose only one book. So what is happening here actually? The book is the word is been repeated 2 times in the entire comment. So the thing is, why can't we make it remove from the data when it is been repeatedly using? Like singular plural kind of things, because both are almost the same only. So even if you remove, even if you convert it to singular to plural or plural to singular, it won't affect anywhere. So lematizer is such a library from the NLTK array. NLTK will take care of these things. Similarly, we have another function called stemming. Even stemming also will do the same process. Let's call the lematizer function. Now if you see, Again, you are applied the lemmatization on it. So you can't see which word has been removed and replaced here, because if you ignore it, what happens now? System thinks that it has to give two columns for it. System will think that it has to give two columns for it, but it's really not important. The next one, stop words. So what is exactly stop words? In every text, there will be some unnecessary English words will be there. Like in the last example also, I have told you some of the unnecessary words such as verse, and. So those English words are really not at all important to us. Hence, what I am writing, I am asking to remove those stop words. We call it as stop words. I am asking to my machine that remove those all the stop words in the entire feedbacks and save it under df_final. So you receive that all the words which is stop words being removed from the every person feedback. Now it's a time for to separate your y and x variables. Yes, if you see, I am successful where my y is sentiment column. That is what negative positive sentiment column. And what is my x? Textual data is our x. So we are going to fit a model between x and y. Okay, because we got separately x and y's. But the data is in like a wrong places data. So what I do, I have to convert into TF IDF methods. These are like technically so many lines will be there, but I am just taking things a little bit faster to understand to get the maximum knowledge. So TF IDF vector, what it will do? 1 second. We have what it will do? It will take the entire text. It will try to convert the data in the form of rows, columns, matrix like this. So how we have converted the rows data into column data for every word, our TF IDF also will do the same thing. Turbo frequency, inward documents frequency. Turbo frequency, inverse document frequency will convert the whole data into numeric. Let's see what happens. Yes, it is ready, and you have to write the code for it. Yes, vectorizer dot fit give your input data transferring the x. Now what it will do, it will throw back like the fraudulent kind of issue. Sorry, I said something else. I mean to say it will convert back into this kind of data, like numerical data. We call it as a TDM matrix. This one, term document matrix. So what through which one it will happens? TF IDF. What is this TF IDF will do? It will convert the data in the form. So I said now there are two methods are there. Till now we applied the text pre-processing methods. The second one, which is feature extraction method, which is converting the data into numerical data. So from this one, the entire data converts into numerical data. Okay. Now, if you want to see, this is what we get. So it will be under the fractions because it's a formula-based method, and it will calculate the importance of the word in the entire feedback. It will calculate the importance of the word in the entire feedback, and it will throw back in the form of arrays. Okay. So once you are successfully, because we separately done with x and y variables. Now x is there with us, and y is also there with us. So what I can do, I can fit the model in between them, right? So what I am doing, I am choosing nice Bayes classifier model. We are not learning the nice Bayes classifier, but in this code it has been used with the nice Bayes, hence I am using. So if you are willing to use logistic regression also, you can use it. If you are willing to use decision trees also, you can use it. So I fitted the model by using x and y. By using x and y, we fitted the model. Then after that, we'll calculate the y predictions, and finally we'll calculate the accuracy. Yeah, if you see 100% of the accuracy we are getting. So that means what? It is able to understand that for any given feedback, is it really gives a positive feedback or negative feedback? So that means what? If I deploy this model into the virtual or web environment, a person is entering his feedback in the drop-down list. So my machine will automatically reads up the entire text, what exactly he is giving, and it converts in the form of a positive feedback or a negative feedback. So that is what, if I am sending such a 1000 people's feedbacks inside to the machine, my machine will translate the whole text data into positive negatives. And if I ask that what percentage of people are giving positive feedback and what percentage of people are giving negative feedback, it will understand those figures and directly it will predict the results as well. Is it all clear, guys? Everyone is clear what I said? Here I did not taken up the much time. I mean, I know that I have made it bit fast here in explanation these things, but the time that what we have on those basis, I tried to give. I think I have given the uh, uh, maybe I don't say best, but at least I have given the minimum inputs to understand for the how the text data is converted to numbers and what are the pre-processing steps that we are doing. So what are these pre-processing steps are doing? Actually removing the stop words. Stop words means what? Like A and D and between you, me, hi, how are you? Okay, so these words are where it is really not important to our calculations will be removed from the data. So which are comes about text pre-processing methods. After that, we converted the data into turbo document matrix, which is becomes a numerical data. Like this method which I am talking here, explained here. So our data has been converted to numerical data. After that, we fitted the model between x and y's and we calculated the accuracy score also here. Is it all clear till now? Please let me know. So I'll save this code for you. As this is what text mining, no? Okay, text mining. I'm giving the name as text mining. And I'll download it and I'll save it here. And I'll upload in the chat box, okay? So not here. This is something where okay, I've uploaded the text file, code file that what we have done, and I'll also upload that Apple text file for you from where I have taken so that it will be helpful for your reference whenever you are doing practicing it again. Okay. Sir, kindly send the feedback link as there is a network issue. Narla Vaishnavi Murthy garu, our XLR person will be looking up all this the back end things. So he will take care. So I don't know when he will do it. Okay. So let me do it from my end, what I can do from my end. Okay. So let's move for the next one, guys. So when do we go for deep learning? When do we go for deep learning? In what scenarios I have to approach deep learning? Like I told, when the complexity of the data is been getting increased. Like in simple words, I will tell you. If my data contains, okay, predict the type of animal, sorry, predict the type of fruit. So I have two kinds of fruits, banana and another one is apple. So is this fruits are similar or different? It's a completely different, right or not? So if I ask you what different that you see, it's colors difference, shapes difference, taste difference, right or not? When you eat it, the crunchiness that you found under apple, which will be not there under the banana. MRP code is under the text mining only. I have uploaded the code also, no? The code. Text mining at the Jupyter file, I uploaded it. Okay, apple.txt, both I have uploaded. Just check it. I think only Narla is going it. 1 second. 1 second. Let me do it 1 second. It is not happened actually. 1 second. It has happened with the. Okay, now I uploaded the code file also, MRP. Okay, you can get it. Now come to the point, guys. So when I'm talking about the two different products, not products, items, here is a clear-cut understanding that. So even if I show this example to a 2 years kids also, he can understand the differences, right or not? 2 years person kid also easily he will able to predict it because example is like that, data is like that. Let's say if the same question, not same question, if my example is different, let's say tab on the laptop. Now I'm asking this, identify the differences for the 2 years kid. Do you think that he can understand the difference between tab and laptop for a 2 years kid? Getting my point? Because for him, both are same. He will think that actually both are toys. Agree with me? Because it looks like similar for him and he thinks that it is only for watching some games or playing for it. He thinks that both are toys for himself. Actually, what is happening here? It is a complex thing. For him, it is a complex thing. But if I ask the same question for 8 years to 10 years people, he will understand it, right? He will understand the differences because 8-10 years means what? Little bit grown up. How the tab looks like, how a laptop looks like. he doesn't know the technical specifications, but looking at the size and the way of using it, handling it, he will recognize that which one should be called as tab and laptop. Okay, so that means what here, this person have more knowledge than who is getting. Okay, now once again, when I'm asking the same question to 16 years to 18 years people, what happens? Or above 16, anything. Yes, now he will have the more knowledge than 8 years people. So he will talks about the specifications also now. This is so and so inches, so and so hardware, so and so speed, capacity, dimensions. So these are all things he will able to explain because more knowledge. Similarly, when I am taking a simpler data sets such as banana and apple kinds of examples, okay, from the machine learning, okay, our traditional methods such as linear or logistic regression will be worked out. Okay, when the data is so simpler in predicting things like this. If my examples are like this, I can apply from the ML methods any traditional methods. When I'm slightly taking the complexity of like a tab and laptop, so my regular machine learning methods will won't work. So I'll take some advanced methods such as decision trees or support vector machines. Understand my point? When to choose what? Now my example is slightly little bit more in understanding the differences. Okay, let's say I am asking to recognize the differences between, okay, a chimpanzee and a gorilla. Now tell me, can you elaborate these two things? Anyone? Can you explain the difference of both these species? Almost looks like same, na? We can't exactly identify the difference between them. Almost looks like same. Agree with me? 80 to 90% will be not, I mean, same. I don't think so. Nobody known here. Even I also not sure. I'm just taking an example. But that means what? If you really want to know the difference, I have to study books on it, right? I have to study any books on it. That means that I need to upgrade my knowledge than your regular methods. I need to upgrade my knowledge than your regular learnings. My mind should be trained the differences. My mind should be trained in understanding the differences. So from the deep learning, we have something called artificial neural networks. All of you getting my point? Artificial neural networks will be taken care. So sometimes you may get more advanced problematic thing. Okay, now I'm asking to recognize, okay, what is the differences between, okay, a male ant and a female ant. Maybe my examples looks like funny only, but actually this is what you have to understand. Male ant and female ant. Now, can anyone understand these things? Now, you never observed it, first of all. Right or not? We never observe these things. But there is a difference. So that means what? Again, you are supposed to deep investigation required on it to understand the difference between how a male and female ants looks like. You have to observe closely the behavior, the pattern, the color, size, eating habits, characteristics. So much of time you are supposed to spend. So you are regular above all the methods like linear to artificial neural networks. Any of the methods. Yes, we have to make research, na? Agree? Unable to understand the patterns, unable to understand differences. So your regular methods is not sufficient. So I have to go with the deep neural networks. Because our task is not so easy to classify the samples, to classify the inputs into two categories. It could be two categories, or it could be three categories, or four categories, or 10 categories, doesn't matter. But my data is such, getting me in a complex pattern. So my regular methods is not going to work. I have to go with a deep advanced neural networks. So this is how you are supposed to take up the learnings of what deep learning methods. So under the deep learning methods, according to the situation, there are several learning materials out there. Okay, as I told, artificial neural networks is one of the method which I am going to talk now. Okay, in the rest of the time. The next one, convolutional neural networks. Then next one, recurrent neural networks. ANN, CNN, RNN, like that, some more advanced things are there, such as autoencoders. There is something called GAN, GAN, GAN. Okay, and then reinforcement learning. Okay, so for all this, each individual concepts, okay, there are so many advanced libraries are also getting existed in the real world. Okay, transfer learning, yeah, forgot it. So there are some more advanced libraries are also getting for all these techniques, which currently people are making use in the reality also. And the people who are getting this into this area, they will have a good amount of packages. You cannot, I cannot tell you at this point here, but yes, people who are having such a highest advanced knowledge topics, they will have a good amount of packages in the reality also. Okay, so let's come back. Let's not talk about it. It's not much important now. So let's discuss about that. Then what is exactly artificial neural networks really works? How does it works? Now, how does, before understanding about these neural networks, first of all, we are supposed to understand, first of all, how our brain works. How our brain works. If you see here, what are all these things? Give me a minute. Yep. So what is this exactly? in our brain, which contains so many cells will be there, na? Cells will be there, neurons will be there. And observe that every neuron, which is red, looks like a red color spot, na? Those are connected to so many neurons. So how really our brain works actually? Very fastly it will works. Like within a span of second, your eyes will be collects the information, image information from above will send that back to the brain, and what is really need to speak out immediately it will send to our mouth, and in the meanwhile, okay, your eyes is working with some other place, listening something, and what else, your nose is exactly taking the smells around us. So these things are actually working like very fastly within a fraction of seconds. And we know that in our brain, how many neurons will be there? Millions of neurons will be there. So indirectly, our neural networks also works like in the same fashion. Why? Because here we'll call it as neurons, and these neurons, in our case, will called as what actually variables. Okay, let's say an example: age, weight, height, and we are trying to predict a person is having diabetes or not diabetic. So how does this neural networks will be constructed in the backend? This is one neuron. This is another neuron. Neuron means what? Variable. Okay. Since I have taken three variables, age, weight, and height. So those three people's information, not three people, three variables information is being passing from the data set like this. Imagine this is our data set. So first person, second person, third person. Okay. First, second, third, and so on. And age, height, weight, diabetic. So age is passing from this neuron. Height is passing from this neuron. And weight is passing from this neuron. Just give me a minute, guys. Please be on hold for 1 minute. Be on hold. All right. Okay. Yeah. So here, this is our information. Our variables is passing through these neurons inside, and in here technically this place where our neurons are there will called as input layer, and at the end where our neurons are getting merged in some place and gives a while prediction result will be called as what? Output layer. And in between these two things, mainly there are two steps is going to run. One is summation and another one is activation. So that means what? The information that you are passing through these neurons is coming out from these neurons like this. from here to here, and here you are going to have a calculation in between this box. Okay, so that is what summation and activation. So what it is do, it will convert the whole data which is suitable, which is matches with our y values. So if your y values are originally at here, which is like diabetic, yes or no, yes or no. Now I am going to get here as what? Y predictions. Like in the logistic regression, I told, if you go back, I think it's in our previous notes only, we apply a function. We apply a function. I don't know where it's mentioned. Maybe I did not take that much of explanation. But what is going to be happen is, we are going to have two steps, which is activation and, where is it? Yes, summation and activation functions. And according to the y variable what we have, we will choose our activation functions according to our requirement. So what is summation exactly? In generally our linear regression, we are writing, how we are going to write the model? Y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 and so on. This is a linear regression model. But when it comes to the neural networks model, this is also, which is very similar to the linear regression model. But betas are calling as coefficients in the machine learning series. But here, these values will called as what? Weights. So according to the machine learning, okay, these values will be calculated by our packages by using linear algebra method. I'm not talking the formula, but the procedure from the linear algebra will come out here in getting the suitable beta values over there. So here, our machine, that means what the package that we are going to make use, such as a TensorFlow package, okay, will give the weight values by applying first initially by applying calculus based methods. So what is the use of taking a calculus based methods? Why? Because these values actually randomly machine generated value will be there initially. Okay, randomly machine generated value will be there. Machine generated, like our OTP in simple words. When you are getting the OTP, it is not will be in a proper order. It generates then there's some number. Similarly, these values also will be generates a random number over there. But what happens? The randomly generated weights is not a better suitable weight values over there. Okay, and my y variable is what here? I said what? Diabetes. Yes or no? Yes or no? So let's imagine diabetes will be 1 and non-diabetes will be 0. So I have to get the values in the form of 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1. But this formula which generates under the summation function can be a biggest number anywhere in between minus infinity to plus infinity. If I process the data as it is, what randomly generates and calculates the values, my mean square error could be very, very big. So in order to reduce this error part, what we are doing on top of it, we are applying activation functions. So activation functions, what is suitable over there according to the y value, y variable values. I'll tell you what are those things. So this is what the main process behind the neural networks. I'm telling again, usually there are two steps, input layer, output layer. From the input layer, our data will be passing through the neurons. If I have 3 variables, means what? 3 neurons will be there. If I have 30 variables, means what? 30 neurons will be there. So along with the data, our randomly generated weight values also will be passing with the input data. So these weights are what? Randomly generated weights, which is not going to be correct. But still, what we are doing, we are applying the summation and activation functions. Why? Because we are trying to predict the y values. So once I identify that the difference between y1 and y predictions is going to be obviously, because since it is randomly generated data. Okay, let's write the point. Since it is randomly generated values, okay, the amount of error will be very high between y and y predictions. So what is our main job? Pick the model between x and y. But the error should be less. My error should be very, very less. So how to reduce the error? The question is, how to reduce the error? So if you view, the answer is what? If you give right weight values, because it is randomly generated weight now. Now the question is then how to find the right weight values. So we have to verify the amount, the current error, the amount of error what we received, the amount of error what we received. We have to verify. We have to see on those error, So in the calculus, there is something called derivatives. On those errors, and we have to apply derivatives methods. What is derivatives will do? It will, I'm telling again, it will regenerate a new weight values for us. Okay, it will regenerate a new weight values for us. So the question is, the regenerated weights are good. The regenerated weights are really good. That's the question. The regenerated weights are really good. Not maybe good. For the first time, but it will be good than your previous weights. That's what I said. For example, just understanding the concept, what I'm talking. There is a tree. This is the tree. And you are standing at here. Okay, and there are some fruits. And this is the line of control. You cannot cross this limit. From here itself only, you have to pick up one stone from here and try to hit the fruit. If luckily, if your stone hits the proper fruit, the fruit will fall down and it is yours. So from here, you are taking one stone and you thrown it here. It is just fall down here. So when the first time when you thrown it, you realized this is not a proper angle that I made it throw. I have to change the angle. Okay? And I have to change the pressure. 1 second you tried it. This is somewhat better than your previous. So again you realize, oh, this is also not sufficient. Some more pressure is required and some more changing the angle also required. So speed, pressure you added, and again you're taking the chance to little bit throw. Now it has happened almost like this. So that means what? Until unless when you tried for 3 to 5 times, you will start realizing the exact pressure, how much it is read, exact angle, how much it is read. So randomly you cannot get the result back. Here also my machine is not able to successive in the first time weight generators. So when I do this thing under the process, when I do this procedure in the form of a process, that is what like an iterative kind of procedure, iterative. So after doing several iterations, I may get the best weights. So that is what here my machine will understand the relationship between x and y and it will generate a random weight values at the beginning. But that random weights is not really inappropriate. So what is happening here? You realize that between y and y predictions, the error which is very, very high. So you are asking to go back and change the weight values which is getting released along with the input data from here, So you are doing what exactly? You are replacing the weight values. So how many times you may require to replace the weight values? Depends upon how much of complexity. That means what? This entire procedure we are going to put into a for loop. So after doing several iterations, maybe example like, okay, and 100 iterations, okay, we may get the best weight values with the lowest error rate. So what is happening actually? Whenever a new weight values I am pushing, I am in the sense input layer. I am pushing through input layer, so that becomes what? Feed forward network, because you are creating a network by feeding the weight values and pushing towards forward steps. So whenever my derivatives, because we are doing under iterations now, whenever my derivatives suggest us a new weights, those new weights, again come back and works in like a feed forward method. So this method is what called back propagation method. So this is what the overall concept behind the neural networks. All of you understanding? Please let me know. Are you able to follow this lecture? Are you able to understand actually? Because I know this is complex to understand. Within one session, it cannot be done. But I'm trying to give the not clear. All right, I understood. I understood. So this is a time-taking thing process, okay, which generates not like a regular method, okay. Feed forward versus back propagation. Yeah, all right. I'll tell you. 1 second, I'll tell you. I'll tell you one more with another way of example, okay. What linear regression will do, I'll explain first. This is the how the points have been plotted on x-axis, on y-axis. So linear regression, what exactly do? Directly identifies the best suitable slope value through points, and it will fix the regression like this, because it has its own mathematical procedure in identifying the slope value. But what our neural networks do now, it will generate a line randomly from some place. Let's imagine like this. So your original points are somewhere, your prediction line is going somewhere. So the error is more. Why? Because you taken a random value. For example, if a person is, look at this, y is equal to beta naught plus beta 1 x1. Actual person's weight is 70 kgs. And so that means I have to predict as 70. But beta naught randomly taken as 50 and beta 1 randomly taken as 20, and his age is actually 20 years. Now what's going to be happen? This is 50 and 20 into 20, 400. So finally you are telling that his weight is 450. And the original weight is what? 70. So how much of error? Large amount of error, because you are not taking the suitable beta value and beta 1 value here. That's why our regression line is also gone somewhere here. The amount of error, the amount of the original value and the predicted value is very, very high. So the result, I have to change these values. So whenever I'm feeding those values, whenever I'm pushing that values through the input layers, so that is what? That is because feed forward network. Because randomly I pushed it for the first time. But when I'm moving for the second time iteration, no, I'm not going to take the random weight values. I will see the amount of error. yi, how much we receive, and y predictions, how much receive. So 70 minus 450 to be frank. So we will apply on this concept, which is on the mean square error, which is the formula now. This is the mean square error. So we will apply the d by dx concept so that it will regenerate a new beta 1 and new beta naught and beta 1 values regenerates on the loss function. Strictly speaks, derivatives applies on the loss function. Loss function means what? The amount of mistake my model is made to understand. Okay, we are applying that derivatives on the loss functions which generates a new weight values. So whenever it is generating a new values means what? Definitely it will be the better than your previous weight values. Better than your previous value. That means what? This line will be a better line than your previous iteration, like this. So when I made a second iteration, so I am regenerating a new weight values. That means what? I have to come back based on the error what I left. I have to come back and I am changing the weight values 1 second. That means that my package will run in the form of a for loop, like a for loop. For loop will do what? Regenerating a weight values and saving those things. I will show you. I don't know whether I think I have shown you the for loop concept, but so what is happening here? Every value taken from 1 to 10 and it is printing for loop. So I am not printing one after another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am not printing it. I am asking to run the things into a loop manner. Run the things into loop manner. Okay, if I ask to print the values from 11 to 20, it will print it 11 to 20 because we are asked to print the values between 11 to 20. This is our loop concept. So this loop is also working under this concept. So my machine will works in the form of a loop concept and it will generate the weight values again and again, again and again, again and again. So we will verify the things in the form of outcomes. So this is 0 and this is 100. Not 100, yeah, 100. Let's take 100. This is what for every 10 iterations 20, 30, 40, 50, okay, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And what will be on y-axis? Error. So in the beginning of my error, it will be very, very high. After 10 iterations, my error is reduced. Error is reducing means what? The gap between the y and y predictions is getting reduced. Again, error is reduced. Again, error is reduced. Again, error is reduced. So after doing several iterations, my model may give better predictions. My model may give better predictions. So that means what? Here I have taken an example for you. So it will start realizing the suitable weight values. It tells that this will be 50, not 50, 30, okay? Sorry, it's gone. So I'm just stopping it again, okay? Yeah. And here, After doing several iterations, it starts understand that it will be 30 plus, and it will be not 20. Okay, it can be some 1.5. So 20 into 25, 20 into 1.5 becomes 35. 35 plus 30, it becomes 65. The person's real weight is 70 and my model is put it as 65 because error is reduced now. Error is reduced. So please show the input layer how the weights are given as input. Please show the input layer. So MRP, you are asking to me show the Python code for it. Our packages which are under not just diagram, you mean to say. Our packages under the system will be generated that random events. Let me draw the picture from your end to make you understand. This is age, okay? This is weight. So it will run one sample after other. It will run one sample after other. Let's say x1, x2, x3. Okay, age 20, height 160, weight 80, 25, 170, 75. Okay, and yeah, 30, 170, again 80. I just taken 3 people information. How many people? 3 people. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and these are what? Neurons of those 3 variables. What are those variables? Age, height, weight. So initially 20, 160, 80 will be moved through these neurons. 20 is moving from this neuron, 160 is moving from this neuron, and 80 is moving from this neuron. To connect where? To connect to the output layer at here. So it is not just x1, x2, x3 it won't be pushed out. Nah? When it is running the Python code from here input layer, it will generate along with the input value, it will generate a weight value with it. So diagrammatically, here I made red dots, here I made a dark line. That means what? The value is not coming in the form of a solo. Okay? The value is not coming in the form of a solo. It is passing, it is taking some other thing along with it. So let's imagine weights are, I am giving as just weights, random numbers. Okay? This is 1.5, this is 2.5, this is 3.3. What are these? Weight 1, weight 2, weight 3. So 20 into, how the model will be generated now? Yes, 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 into first person 20 plus 2.5 into second person 160 plus 3.3 into third person 80 along with some bias. So I am adding just bias as 10, which is W0. So this is W0, this is W1, this is W2, this is W3. So W1 into x1 plus w2 into x2, w3 into 3 x3 plus plus plus. Now this is with respect to one person. When I move for the second person, now inputs again will be changed. Now 25 will be passing again from the A, 170 is passing from the height, 75 is passing from the weight. So weights won't changed because until unless all the samples predictions completed till last, weights won't change. But input is sending one after other, one after other, one after other. First vector completely, second vector completely, third vector completely with the same weight values it generates. Hope everyone is understood. So this thing is what called feed forward, feeding the data along with the weights and moving forward in predicting the y values. Like that for all the, I mentioned 3 samples, but imagine 3000 samples have been fed. Now what I said, it will predict the values, but the error will be huge. So what should I do? That means that these weights are not inappropriate weights, randomly generated, machine generated weights. So I have to give the suitable weights. So what amount of error that I receive between yi original and y predictions? Using that error rate, I will regenerate the weights. So that is what, whenever I regenerate new weights, I will come back. That means my machine will come back and replaces these weight values. So again, my 20, 160, 80 will be coming from the input layer and multiplies with a new weights. Again, it will generate say y predictions at the end. So this is what happens. So this procedure is what called back propagation because I'm coming back to replace new weights. I'm coming back to replace the new weights in the back end. That's the problem. Not problem, that's the procedure. Now, after doing the several things, also you may not sure that your result will be accurate. After doing these many things also, we are not sure that we will get the better results. After doing these many iterations, you may run for 100 iterations or 200 iterations or 1 lakh iterations. We may not get the better results. Then what should I do? That's the question. So, any idea what shall we have to do then? So, adding the hidden layer in between input layer and output layer. Adding the hidden layer in between input layer and output layer. So that means what? A new layer will be formed. Now, whenever a new layer is formed, the complexity of the model also will be changed. This is input layer. So this is hidden layer. and finally you will have output layer. Yeah, I'll share the document. Purnachandra, don't worry, okay? So what's going to be happen? Now this is very going to be complicated. See, when I inserted the hidden layer, okay? Now every neuron from the input layer connecting with the every neuron under the hidden layer. Look out. So same age variable, but passing with 5 different neurons. So that means what? It is calculating with 5 different weights. So you are making our model little bit more complicated way to make our machine train. I'm telling again, from every neuron from the input layer will be connected with the every neuron under the hidden layer. I suggest to listen the video once again whenever you have some time, because few things cannot be digested within one sitting. So you have to listen the recording once again to get the clarity about the topic. I'm not running actually, I'm going slow pace only, but this one concept is bit difficult to understand. That's the reason. Now what's happening here? 3 into 5, totally 15 lines I made it. So that means what? Is hidden layer is machine generated? No, Rashmi. Ourselves, we are adding over there. Why? Because in the past exercise, I did not get the satisfied results. I did not get the satisfied results. Hence, I am taking the chance of inserting a hidden layer between the input and output layer. And I am deciding to add the hidden layer or not. If I am deciding to add the hidden layer, again, I am deciding that under the hidden layer also, how many neurons to be done. So I decided that 5 neurons to be done. If you ask me again, how do you know that 5 neurons to be done? Again, there is a method. Again, there is a method. Let's not worry about it now. Sure, Chaitra. I will talk about those things by this end of this lecture. Okay, just give me 5 more minutes. Let me finish up this topic, and I will share for your people learning materials. Okay, and yep. Now, what is happening here? There are 3 input neurons. Imagine 100 samples are there, 100 people information, which generates in the form of 100 into 5 neurons. And this is input layer, and this is hidden layer, and this is output layer. Now from each neuron, again, it will comes up with one outcome to fit the values and store under the output layer. Like this. And note that before hidden layer also, summation activation functions will be takes place. Before output layer also, summation and activation functions takes place. Remember this. Before hidden layer also we have summation and activation. Before output layer also we have the summation and activation functions. So what are the different activation functions means what? There are so many methods out there. Depends upon what y variable that you are choosing, we are supposed to choose different activation functions. We have few functions such as ReLU, rectified linear limit. When do we apply? If y variable is continuous data. Sigmoid. When do we apply? When y variable is binary outcomes. That is what only two possible outcomes, like yes or no. Softmax. When do we apply? When y variable is what? Multi-class outcomes. So there are three categories or more categories inside the y variable. Then softmax function will be applied. All of it clear now? So if you are directly to want to work with our input layer, we are inserting the hidden layer. Inserting the hidden layer means what? Making data more complex. So making data more complex means that the running time of our machine also will be executed a little bit more because more computational power, more calculations is going to be takes place. All right. So this is what happens. So let me share all these materials that what we learned. So we could not able to complete the code. Code will take again another 1 hour of time. So I could not able to explain the code part, but I have given the theoretical discussion on it on this given amount of time. Okay, and I'll give some materials for you as per people are requesting me, keep on requesting me to share materials. So let me give some intuition over it. Okay. So I'll give it the name as summary notes. So the summary notes been uploaded and give me the chance. Please send your mail ID and such to some people textbooks, machine learning, maths, basic maths for machine learning. Definitely. Give me a minute. Let me look at the things what is good for you. So some basic statistics notes I'm uploading here. One is the distributed statistics. Some I mean it's not too much. It will be slightly will be there, and normal distribution concept and probability distributions. Next one. Yeah, I'll share the email ID as well. Okay, I'll share that email ID as well. Give me a minute. Then let's repeat that here. Yep. Yes, I shared my email ID. You can have it. And let me upload few more notes. So one of the statistics book, machine learning book, natural language, Python data analysis. Okay. Yeah, Priti, wait a minute. I'm uploading it. Don't replay it for a minute because when I'm uploading it, when you people are pinging me, so automatically it's coming only for one person. So give me a minute. I'm in the same thing. So I uploaded the 4 textbooks. I don't know whether in the last session I uploaded any textbook or not, but once again I'm doing it. One is open statistics, which is a good for statistics book, and another one is machine learning with scikit-learn and TensorFlow, and natural language processing and Python for data analysis. So in which area that you are interested more, you can pick up to that. You can pick up that related topic. Okay, and I'm looking for some deep learning book specifically, but I did not found here. Maybe I pushed out in some other place. But this TensorFlow also contains a good amount of deep learning investigation only. So if you see recurrent convolutional neural networks is there, recurrent is there, auto encoders is there, reinforcement learning is there. So many things are there. Here also you can learn much more. For medical image analysis, currently I don't have Preeti. I have to look back. I have to look back in my collection things specifically medical related book is not there, but I have to verify it. I have to check and I have to verify it. So you can ping me later. You can just remind me later when I have to my email ID. Okay. So I'll verify and I'll try to upload for you. And let me check this book is good or bad. I think this is also one good book only. Looks like. Yeah, it's all good books only. Yeah, if you see, it will be in detail mentioned will be there. Even I did not completed all the learnings. Some part of the learnings only have done from all the books. No time with reading of the things. Okay. Yep. I also uploading another book related to test analytics with Python. So I suggest ping me Sukshma Shetty because I don't have any pen and paper to write your email ID. Okay, so I share my email ID. Just ping me later when you have some time. I'll upload the deep learning textbook as well. Okay. So either you can ask to that our XLR team regarding that certification because I'm not related to that regarding the backend calculations, backend feedbacks and all. You can be in touch with the XLR person. He will help you on this matter. Okay. Which implementation, Sushma, you're asking about? I did not get your question. Which implementation you're talking about? Thank you, MRP. We are unable to access uploaded material. So the people who are not able to get that materials now, if you are not able to download, I suggest to ping me later after this session to my email ID. I'll try to give the I'll try to upload those materials in a drive link. I'll try to upload those materials in a drive link and I'll share those things to you. Okay.
Advisor, hope you are done.
Yes, I have done. People are asking some questions, so I'm keep on responding it. From my end, I have done. Sorry.
Chandana.
Yeah, Chandana. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I will take remaining questions, okay?
Yeah,
Regarding
sure. You can
certificates
go
and
ahead.
all. So, I have downloaded all these, PDF. I'll upload all this in our dashboard. Okay, no problem. By tomorrow afternoon, you will get it. All these PDFs and textbooks. And how will get certificates, sir? So, for certificate, 60% attendance is mandatory. So, we will share certificates within 10 to 15 working days. Okay. And I have an update. So today we are starting on SDP DSA campus placement. I'm sharing the registration link. Please register for this program and inform to your students also to register. And any more questions you can ask me here. Am I audible properly? Please let me know in the chat box.
Yes, we can hear you, Chandana. I think it's clear.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So, do we have to fill another form for certificate? No, Reshu. Actually, I'm sending the feedback link, no? So, in that, you have to fill your details. So, that means you have marked your attendance. Okay. So, I have attended all of your sessions, but couldn't fill feedback due to some technical issues. Please issue certificate by checking my attendance. Attended for all certificates. Yeah, okay. Okay, you required a feedback link, right? Yes, I will share it. So yeah, I will upload all these materials by tomorrow afternoon. Okay. Okay. So I didn't see any more questions now. So good to go. We'll close this program today. Thank you so much everyone for joining this session, and you make these sessions as interactive. And thank you so much, Advait sir. You gave wonderful sessions with examples, like real-time examples. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Chandana. Thank you all. So hope we'll meet again in some other scenarios. Okay. Bye, guys.
Yeah, bye sir. Thank you. So thank you everyone. Bye bye. Please register for this SDP program.